last couple of rounds, so they got to keep that one in check as they go forward.
Fernandez, as I say, he's carrying a wrenched arm into this, also carrying a sort of a small...
And Daniel goes for the lead but thinks better of it through Arrabbiata 1. We then go uphill to Arrabbiata 2. Full slipstream through Curvone, the fastest corner on the calendar. Now it's full braking and little sort of
injury is sent Latoni. Oh, the inside goes Brian Ariarte to take.
And that's where he makes his move, or tries at least, as Ariarte says no way. Squirts of power between the corners and they're going all 3, 4 abreast, and Morelli nearly clips the back.
Second place from David Gonzalez. Superb stuff.
Going to rename him Larry Lunger. These two are very close childhood friends. They've grown up racing each other all along, and that's their wheel of Veda Pratama. You don't want to be doing that, Marco, as he slots into 4th.
Yeah, so any idea
to that one, because that was brilliant.
But it was the David Gonzalez move, really, wasn't it, on the brakes? But
getting all involved, it is Pratama who goes through into the lead.
And this, using every that Brian Ariarte was going to get to the front and run away with it, that disappeared very quickly, didn't it? Anyway, he replayed that superbly. So now Zenmitane is at the back of that group. He can re-inch of road all over the place there, but absolutely superb stuff from Veda Pratama, as you said, Matt, because Gonzalez, Pratama, oh, they're well off in the blue stuff there. That's okay. They came into the weekend carrying a wrenched shoulder and said that in the first race he just hung in the group. The other two were mucking each other up, and Veda just took advantage of that absolutely superbly with the cleanest. They get penalised for going off on the blue stuff only if they touch the green. They got to be careful. Hung in the group, because he wanted to save the shoulder as much as possible. Then over the overtaking move up the inside. Wonderful stuff.
We just passed the point of the suck yesterday where Morelli really trying to make his way through on Veda Pratama. He just tried to outbrake him.
Last couple of laps, he said, I just closed my mind to the pain, closed my mind, looked ahead. And
Karpushin's race came undone. Yaroslav, the number 17, he's up into 13th on this mare, but Pratama cut his nose off to make sure he couldn't get through. Brian's back in the lead though. Where's Dinesh?
Went for it, and he said, I'm going to do the same thing in race 2. So that is why, as much as anything, Zen...
He's actually nerfed wide by Marco Morelli yesterday. That's why Morelli, the Argentinian, got his long lap. Just on the back of this group, he's behind the number 32 of Ramadipa, the Indonesian rider, who is
sitting there in 5th place rather than battling hammer and tongs at every corner with the guys ahead of him.
Penalty, but all cleanly through today. Look at the number 7, Benyat Fernandez, going round the outside. That's been on some great form lately as well. He's trying to go on the inside.
Ooh, did he touch it? Almost.
I think the final corner. He's up from 13th on the grid. Well, there we go. Smart lad, smart lad. As we look back down the order, then it's Karpushin and Benyat Fernandez.
They touched rear wheel there, didn't it?
I think he left a couple of tyre marks on Ramadipa's leathers there. It already up into the podium positions.
And Benyat Fernandez, of course, he's already had a win.
Ramadipa, plump, Pugliese's fallen off the leading group. Oh, Morelli!
We almost lost Morelli.
But Dinesh, after an initial sluggish start, he's in the groove again. 8th position, trying to make his...
In race 2 at Le Mans, so we know he has pace, but he's been a bit disappointing the last couple of races, obviously trying to lead.
Oh, that was a big moment, wasn't it? And he's still keeping it pinned. Ariarte, though, responded. They get way up to 7th. Gonzalez trying to make a move on Brian Ariarte. Into 1st again, but not quite.
I put that right. Veda Pratama, the 54, alongside Brian Ariarte on the 51.
Faster and faster, lap by lap, 144.9 this time around. Well, this race is absolute...
Yeah, superb, nice line from Brian Ariarte there, hanging on to the advantage.
Morelli's made his way up into...
And up the inside is the 50 of Carter Thompson, the Australian.
And look at the 13 of Hakim. To be honest, isn't it? Morelli decides to let... Is he doing that because maybe a wet patch caught him out and he wants third as well ahead of Pratama? So this would be the case where Ariarte does take the championship. Dinesh as well, the series leader, has managed to pick all their pockets nearly and up in towards 2nd. Or somebody else to take charge or what? I don't know. Or is he just a bit spooked and needs to gather himself again?
Well, yeah,
today.
Yeah, indeed. And of course, Veda knows that, so he's going to be not a...
3rd place now. Brian Ariarte snatches the lead right back from Carter Tom.
He knows there's a few laps to go and he can afford just to follow Brian for a corner or two. Must be worried about the two Spaniards getting ahead now. They could make a break on Morelli and
Thompson. That was a brilliant set of moves.
Absolutely, and everybody, you know, there's only... Because he's not going to get away from them, is he? No, three abreast behind Brian Uriarte, but Mark make it very difficult for him. We'll see what happens.
Through Kerboni we go, on board with the Indonesian, not quite.
There's only 3 seconds covering the whole grid at the moment, so 51 it is. Morelli holds on to second place ahead of Veda Pratama.
As he tries to make a move through Morelli there, that is one of the bravest places to do it on the calendar, and look at that!
Uriarte with the advantage.
Well then, through the chicanes they come. It's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Well then, Leo Ramersdorfer into 9th place as well as we look back down the other. Lennox for that. Oh wow, but it's such a pleasure to watch Veda Pratama ride. Is the 51 from the 7. You've also got Singapong back there, the number 85. Famara as well, the Swiss rider. This is the best we've seen from him. Really, really good stuff. Congratulations to him. And he fights straight back at him. Tries to stand him up in the middle of the corner as well. Absolutely brilliant. He's up from 20th on the grid, Peter. Goodness gracious me.
Well, I think, you know...
For that rider, however he finishes up, this is really good. As we see, Danish has gone down again, Peter.
Paint off each other, and yet they're not slowed down at all, are they? Because they didn't lose ground to Uriarte, and look so far, and there's the 7. What a great move from Beñat Fernandez. Goes past Uriarte and into the lead.
Unfortunately, that'll be him down and out of the race. And that's your lot from Hackett.
In that battle.
Well then, just behind them you've got Pugliese, Zembitar.
Absolutely wonderful move going into the climbing right-handers of Varabiata 1 and... That's not a way to end the year. But anyway, you know, let's trust that he's absolutely okay.
And he started from 4th on the grid. He's in 6th, just ahead of Danish now in 7th, who's dispatched Raman. Now in 1st and 3rd place now in this race. You got the 2 winners from the World Supersport 3.
And blown up and saved him from injury. And the Alpine's
deeper. We see fastest laps of the race. The fastest rider on track of the race so far. Hackett 100 championship last weekend. Fernandez and Thompson taking a win apiece. Really good stuff. Carrying.
Tekasu's had 2 canisters, so even after his first fall, he can get up. The thing will self.
Danish.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant stuff. He knows what he's got to do. So even Danish, he went
through that confidence. Beñat up 12 places. Singapong in 5th though, up 15 places.
Deflate, ride again, and it will go off a second time if he falls off again, which of course he's just into the race, as I said, saying that the bike was only 80% sorted. He's riding around any
cases. What a ride this is by the Thai rider.
Absolutely, you can see how close the whole grid still is as we get done. He weren't reinflate the 3rd time. Anyway, right, 5 laps to go. It's Brian, the kind of problems that he's got at the moment, fastest man on track.
The other 20% has got to come from him, and that other